one.
Step into a Slim Jim. Big country. Nah, just worry about it, y'all. Hey, listen, y'all. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome to Let's Take a Seat with Big Country. Myself, by Big Country, we have a special guest here today. I've been trying to get this young gentleman on the show for years. And you know what? He said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I got you, Country. I got you. It's a good friend of mine, top badge, classic OG, man. Been a good friend of mine for a very long time. And we're talking about today's topic, insecure versus territorial. That is something that had to be talked about because people got to differentiate the differences. And I found something on there, the difference between those two. So, but that's very, very, very common that a lot of people think they may be territorial, but some people insecure about certain things. So we got to dissect those two. And Classic OG is a very good person that, good acknowledgement, man, very good acknowledgement. So we, decided to do this show on this topic. But keep in mind, y'all, whoever the #1 gift of the show would name the next week's topic. And also, if you guys have spotlights, we are #3 right now. We're going to try to keep it at #1. Okay. And yeah, contest, y'all. I am in the contest. So gifts, whatever gifts you guys, I appreciate it. But if you guys have any rubies, please shoot them my way. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. And then, refrain from negativity. And just be positive, y'all. We're going to have fun with this one. And Brookie, I'm going to let you take this away, okay? And everything. And
you answered pretty much everything, but also ask your questions in the comments. I'm going to try and grab whatever I can and ask at the end, and we'll ask the men. If you want to really, really ask a question for, like, maybe they're saying something, you disagree, want to know more, throw like a 1K gift, can be anything you want. And write in the comments, I have a question, like, well, that was for my question, and they'll stop the show and they'll answer your question. But yeah, we're here to have fun. It is getting recorded. If you want to be on the show, please hit me up, hit Class up, hit Country up, and we'll get you on. If you know a man, would love to have you on. All right, are we ready? Well, thank you. Give all the rubies, though, to Country. I really appreciate them, though, very, very much. But Country's closer to the contest. All right. If you have nothing nice to say either in the comments, don't say it at all. We are a very, very, very positive stream, and you never know what anyone's going through. Or, like, these men are being very vulnerable sometimes, so we're here to support them and give them a safe place. And that is something Country really, really stands by, is men empowerment and having that safe place. But yeah, all right, Classic OG. He has a featured show, or used to have a featured show, so he knows how to do this. He's got it going on. Has he requested yet?
no, request. I ain't being on it. Hey, look, his show be wild. It's a good wild, though. It's a good wild. Just to let y'all know. It's a good wild, man. My face is so dry. Yeah.
You got the little Elvis curl dropping down. I like it.
How you doing, mama?
It's recorded.
Yeah, looks good though.
How you doing, mama?
Classic didn't get the memo of looking dressed up. What's going on, Classic?
What's that memo about dress?
Dream roll. There we go.
Did you see the messages?
Is it better?
No, but did you see? Did you see the message?
I look like I'm in 1952. What's going on?
It's clear now. It's clear.
Yeah. Just get an upgraded phone. But you get the memo about the dressing up?
There's a dress code. What's the dress code?
Regular dress code?
It was in the thing. It's pinned in the chat, but it's okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't check it. So it was supposed to be coffee. I don't even have any coffee around. Anyways.
You can dress nice. I've seen you dress nice plenty of times.
You dress nice, man.
Yeah. You have your little hat. You have.
That's true. I'm actually not. I'm actually not at home right now, so I don't have all my clothes yet. So I don't even have a corporate stuff yet. Anyways.
Hey, that's okay. That'll give you more of a reason to come on the show again. Yeah. Give you more of a reason to come on the show again. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so y'all, this is Classic OG. So Brookie gonna give us the first question. And Classic, you from your experience and how you look at it, the advice that you can give to the people in the comments, or deliver this message the best you can. All right.
Hang on, someone said put the Black Panther suit up.
It looks good in it though. I ain't gonna lie, he do look good in it.
It's all he would wear.
Wakanda baby forever.
So I'm gonna say the first question, you guys answer, and then I'll put the questions in the comments. If you don't understand country, I'll put them in the comments as well, because he does have his Mississippi country accent. We got two accents. All right. So the first one is he already read this out earlier. How do you define insecurity in a relationship compared to territorial behavior? How do you define insecurity in a relationship compared to territorial behavior?
Am I going first?
All right. Yeah, you always go. I'm gonna read the question. And then you give the best you can, man.
All right. So you want to read it again?
She gonna put in the comments. She's about to put it in there right now. I want people to hear this with Okay. Look, let me just before you.
All right, it's in the comment now.
I think that we really don't understand how territory is.
So I'm gonna tell you. I want you before you read. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna show you this real quick so you know the difference.
Okay. I think that sometimes some of y'all women really don't understand how territorial men are. That's biologically how they are. It's different if you were covered up, but baby, you got titty tape on. So yes, of course, a man who knows how men are going to look at you, knowing that there's going to be men who are going to be predators or going to pursue you, he's right for saying that. That's not meaning that he's insecure, he's territorial. That's a man's nature, that's absolutely okay. It's your responsibility as his woman to understand his nature and to also have boundaries with yourself. Knowing what you are exposing yourself to. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be quick. I'm so glad I can have conversations with my husband, because I asked him, we had a deep conversation. I said, what is it about women that will make you not wife her? And the first thing he said, the way she presents herself. That's coming from a man. Men will tell you that if you dress provocative, they're going to see you as an object. If you dress sexual, they're going to see you as an object. Stop calling men insecure. That is their God-given right to say, I don't want my woman to present herself out here, because not only is she a representation of me, she's a representation of herself. I need to
so y'all get the breakdown. So put that in there real quick, Brooke. She put it in there. She says, how do you define insecurity in a relationship compared to territorial behavior?
All right. Good evening, everybody. It's Classic OG. Sorry for not getting the memo, by the way, regarding the outfits, but here we are. I'll try my best. First of all, insecurity, of course, means looking at it from from a dictionary point of view, it does mean, of course, the lack of being secured, and it means when someone is uncertain, when someone lacks confidence. And you can definitely see that when you interact with someone. You might see that from their appearance. And then when you get to talk with them, their personality, their character, you would get to know if they're insecure or not. Now, in a relationship, when someone is insecure, it's more like having to second guess themselves, second guess their actions, second guess how people react to their actions. And it's very difficult. If someone is insecure in a relationship, I feel like they shouldn't even be in a relationship at all. They probably have to work on them on themselves before they get into a relationship. Because for someone that is insecure, it hardly matters anything you do, because they have that personal thing going on. Being insecure is not normal. It's not a normal thing, by the way. It's not. It's not. Everybody. I feel like everybody might have a little insecurity in them, but the degree, like if it's like so much, like where you're always second guessing yourself, you're always second guessing your actions, you're not certain about anything. And when somebody tells you something, maybe your partner, of course, you're always second guessing them based on your personal experiences. Insecurity may be due to, the experiences that you've been, through with maybe your former relationships. Maybe some men may have made a woman feel less of themselves because of how they were treated, and how they were, maybe abused, or it was a toxic relationship. That would affect, a woman's self-confidence, even a man. And because of that, it allows for insecurity. So being territorial, however, is different. I think that is more of a character you find in men mostly. It might be in women too, but men are mostly more territorial than women. Maybe it's all about marking your territory. Just like if you watched documentaries before, you see how, like a lion, for example, marks his territory to be like, okay, this is mine, and you cannot come close to this. There's a reasonable extent to which you can get close to this person. Maybe you can talk to them, maybe you can give them an handshake, but you cannot go beyond these boundaries, because then I'm gonna have to react. That is being territorial. Just making people know that this is my woman, or this is my man, and there's a there's a limit to which you can interact with them. Some things won't be allowed. So being territorial is uh, might be a normal trait for men. However, of course, too much of everything is not good. If a man is too territorial too, that is borderline jealousy. It could actually lead to borderline jealousy. So too much of being territorial, too much of insecurity is not good.
That's good. That's good. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for being here. This is the show called Let's Take a Seat with Big Country. It's all about men empowerment, man. I just think that men need a voice, a platform they can use, and a safe place they can talk about their feelings or what they've been through. So today we have a special guest here. It's Classic OG, Top Badge Classic OG. We're talking about insecure and versus territorial in a relationship. So y'all just stay tuned in. Whoever my number one gift is of the show will name the next week's topic. Okay, we're gonna dive into the second question, y'all, and just stay tuned because I might ask you guys some questions. So in the comments, but do you think causes a partner? What do you think causes a partner to feel insecure?
So insecurity can come from a couple of things. I already mentioned some. I'm gonna go over what I mentioned before in terms of past experiences. I remember even myself. This isn't a relationship experience or story, but I remember when I was in high school, right? Um, you know, my classmates, they realized that I have a big lips. So they would make fun of my lips. In fact, they had to come up with a song for my lips. It wasn't a good song to make me feel bad, about having a lips that is unusually bigger than a normal person, an average person. So because of that, I felt really, 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 really insecure. I felt really, really less confident in myself. In fact, I almost felt like I had to hide my lips. I was like, okay, I start I started feeling like it was a bad thing. It was like a normal thing. So fast forward 2020 when I started streaming, and one of the you know compliments that I would get most was about my lips. And people started saying, especially women, they started saying, "Oh, I wish I had a type of lips. Oh, even if I do a surgery, it won't be as." So I started thinking, wait, this is the same lips that in high school my friends would actually batter me and disgrace me and embarrass me, while these people are giving me another perception. And that greatly, improved my confidence and how I felt about myself. So, like I said, when people are being verbally abused by their partner or their exes, it can actually influence how they feel about themselves or their actions. It could be how they work. It could be how they trust people. So that's, if you then carry that, into the next relationship, it could be very, very harmful. That's why I said, if someone is too insecure, I don't think they should be in a relationship at first. So they have to deal with that before they even consider going into another relationship. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what that person do, it's gonna affect them. Another one is, it could be, I don't know, it could be hereditary. It could be transferred from from maybe their parents, transferred, passed down to them, and they were just born with it. And in that case, it's still the same thing. Might be much more difficult to get to actually address it, because you might then have to go for counseling. You might have to, try different, parameters to try to fix it.
I personally don't think though. Like I think it could be how just what your as a growing up as where you grew up at or security, because being insecure can be a dangerous trait, man. Like, but and it's also the people you hang around. You know what I mean? I think when it comes to that, so even if you got a partner maybe around toxicity, you know what I mean? I just think that plays a part that causes a partner to feel insecure. It's also how your partner may talk about your friends, or it just even goes along with that, man. It takes a lot. Like, to get over your insecurity, it takes a lot, but it takes a number of people. You know what I mean? To get you over your insecure portion of it. But yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough to be in a situation, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm still insecure about some things today. You know what I mean? But
Me too.
honestly,
Me too. Me too.
I am. I mean, a lot. But thank you guys for being here. I gotta ask you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments. So, just real quick, man, what do you think causes a partner to feel insecure? You guys can put that in the answer in the chat real quick while we dive into this next one. But I'm gonna just read through it as we go through it, man. But remind you, whoever the #1 gift is of the show, we'll name next week's topic. This is your show called "Let's Take a Seat with Big Country." You know what I mean? And we have a special guest here, which is Classic OG, Top Badge Classic OG. You've been a Top Badge for a very long time, man. What, 3 years, 3.5?
Yeah, like since 1964, bro.
Yeah, that's a long time. That's a long time. Yeah. So we're gonna dive into the question. I see a lot of it, y'all. I see a lot, and I appreciate you guys throwing the comments in there. But we're gonna dive into the next to the third question. That we have here, y'all. Let me get you real quick, y'all. This is third question is, appreciate that, y'all. It said, is being territorial a sign of love or a sign of not trusting your partner?
It could be a sign of both. Someone can be territorial, and it could be because they love you. Of course, if somebody loves you, they should protect you. They should not allow people to talk to you anyhow or to interact with you anyhow, especially if it's disrespectful to you and the relationship. They should be able to let others know that no, you cannot do this. You cannot talk to her like this. You cannot hold her like this. It's good. However, like I said, too much of everything is not good. If you're too territorial, it could then be borderline jealousy. Like, okay, like you're doing too much. Like this, I'm a grown person. I know what is good for me, what's not good. You're doing too much, and that's why I said too much of everything.
So
It's not good.
I want to curve about this real quick, class. Do you think, is it a difference between being super territorial and protective? You think that's a difference?
When you say super, that is excessive. Being territorial and being defensive, I can say they're probably the same thing.
Not defensive. Territorial, you being like somebody being territorial, and someone about just being just protective over his wife or his woman, but somebody that's being territorial versus protective. You know what I mean? I think to me, what you said what made me say this was because it can be borderline jealousy. Protective would not be borderline jealousy. You know what I mean? Because you protected something that holds a value, that's yours. Territorial be the same, but sometimes people get out of the way. It's how you act, how you know what I'm saying, respond to situations, being territorial versus being protective. If that makes sense, y'all. You get what I'm saying?
I guess I would say super territorial and overly protective. Those two will be similar to me. Those two will be similar to me. But being protective and being territorial may be similar to me. But if it's overly or super, then that's excessive.
So I'm gonna give you a narrative then. So somebody go out, she said, no, you can't wear that. No, you're not going out there like that. No, absolutely. You're not gonna be around me like that. Versus a man that's protective. You go out, she should already know what to wear, and you know what I'm saying, and she feels safe versus being scared. You know what I mean? Because now you can't wear this, you can't do that, versus being with your partner going around. She feels safe versus she don't. You know what I mean? Like not safe in a safe place area, but like she's scared, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen people that's territorial, they're afraid to wear certain things. They're afraid to go out. They're afraid to do this because her man being territorial versus somebody being protective. And you know what I'm saying? Like, baby, make sure you're good. I want you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So if that makes sense, y'all get what I'm saying, right?
But I don't think you have to be territorial to give a lady a feedback based on what she's wearing. For example, like if a lady is wearing something that is too much, maybe that is too revealing, and she's going out with a friend, and if she's going out with you, it might be different. You're like, well, it doesn't matter what you wear, even if you dress naked, you're still with me. So nobody's gonna try to do anything. But if she's going out without you, she's going out with her friends. And especially maybe she has some friends that are, that could get spicy when they get drunk or when they get whatever. A woman should not, there's a limit to what you should be comfortable wearing, even without the guy saying nothing anyways, even without even having a man. There's a limit to what you should be comfortable wearing. There's some outfits that are very, very revealing anyways, and that would actually, of course, make men want to approach you because they think, oh, this girl is here without a man, and our outfits are kind of seductive. Let me try to see if I can approach her, stuff like that. So at the end of the day, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're passing the wrong message.
Yeah, and that's what the whole message is for. But I was just saying, like, me, when I feel like, to me, territorial doesn't sound like a positive trait to me. Like territorial don't sound good to me. You know what I mean? Versus being someone that's a man that's protected over his woman or wife, if that makes sense. Like, I just don't like and I chose this insecure versus territorial because it's a good thing. Because you know what I'm saying? Being territorial, what's over yours? I get it. But like, I'm used that narrative because I see people tell this girl, what she can and can't wear. You can't wear makeup when you go out, or you know what I mean? You go to the grocery store. Like, to me, that's territorial. You know what I mean? Versus, and then that makes her insecure, right? Because you know what I mean? And that's why I ask that question, because when I hear that territorial situation, it just really gets me. But territory is not a bad thing versus if you compare that with insecure. So we're gonna dive into the next question, y'all. I just want to just see where y'all brain at. But welcome, let's take a seat with Big Country. I have my brother Classic OG, top badge Classic OG is that, y'all. We're talking about insecure versus territorial. So we can break down the differences. We're going to go with this next question. And whoever my number one gift is of the show, we'll name next week's topic, okay? So we're going to dive into this next question, which is question number 4. Do men and women feel insecurity and territorial behavior differently? So, ladies, I'm gonna ask you guys a question before Classic give his real quick. I need y'all to stick around. That's one of the questions that I want to hear from y'all at the end of the show. I would love, put that in your note. I want to hear from you guys what makes it so different. I need some ladies to jump on board here. If you guys still around, please jump on board because I definitely want to hear y'all feedback on that. But I'm gonna get Classics OG his side real quick, and then y'all need to stick around so we can hear y'all's. You know what I mean? So that make sure y'all jot that in y'all notes. Question number 4. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Classic.
I mean, I've experienced you know, both before, as in, you know, a woman being you know, insecure, and at the same time, you know, being territorial. But do we experience it differently? I feel like we can experience it differently, and there are ways that we can experience it the same way, especially if both man and a woman got their insecurity from the same experience, they might experience it the same way. And maybe if they both got it from trauma, it's possible that they experience it the same way. But then if they got it from different experiences, maybe one was passed down from you know, maybe trust issues, you know, like they said in the comment then. And if you got yours from, you know, another means, then it's possible to experience it differently. Either ways, I feel like they could both experience it the same way or differently. So it depends on how, I believe it depends on how the insecurity came to be, whether by trauma, whether by trust issues, whether by hereditary, you know, whether by um, past experiences, you know, verbal abuse, you know, so many things, so many ways that insecurity can come to be. Based on that, they could experience it the same way or differently. That's what I think.
Okay. Hey, Brookie. So what you typed in here and what's on here is a little different. So I just want to make me look like I'm crazy. Just saying. You know, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm like, wait. That's why I'm looking at him like, wait. Okay, all right. I was just making. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, cool, all right. I'm like, man, I'm over here like, did we miss the questions here? Or like, wait, what part we on, man? You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's cool. I just want to make sure I ain't crazy. Just tripping. I'm over here about to skip all these rest of these questions. I'm like, man, let me just skip down to 9 and 10. Cause you know, I want to make sure. But y'all remember, keep that in y'all head for number 4. Y'all want to go back to number 4 and see y'all. I want to hear y'all experience and y'all feedback on that. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. We're gonna dive into the next question. How should someone react when they see their partner feeling insecure?
I feel like I mean, I'm gonna look at it from a man's point of view. What you can then do is, if a woman is insecure, I think the first thing you have to know is the reason behind that insecurity. If it's caused by maybe what I did intentionally or unintentionally, then it's up to me to fix it, you know. But if they're already coming into the relationship insecure, I might not be able to fix it because if I'm not the reason why they are insecure in the first place, they might have to heal from whatever made them insecure in the first place. As I said, it depends. Now, if it's me, maybe if it's what I did, you know, intentional, unintentional, then I think it's up to me to then be like, well, I guess for me, while trying to know someone, before we even get to that relationship phase, I would know if they're insecure or not. And at that point in time, I would then, you know, have to make a decision. Like, do I want to, you know, go into this kind of relationship if this person is already insecure? I'd rather like that they heal from whatever caused their insecurity. But I haven't gone through that stage. If they were already secure before we went into a relationship and stuff, and you know, later on I start realizing that they start getting insecure, then I didn't have to question myself. to not be like, okay, maybe I've done something, and I try to look into it with them too. Then I can now start, word of affirmation. I feel like, the Bible says the power of life and death lies in the tongue, and those who love it will hear the truth.
I
What
do, I do want to say something, class. You said like, I think sometimes even a person heal from it, they're not gonna forget, but it can be things that you may cause, which is triggering, that bring them back to that. You know what I mean? So that's why it's very important that you talk about your past hood trauma, so you don't have to resort back to what caused that in the first place. You get what I'm saying? So like, I just think that you have to talk about it, man. That's just so important. For us reacting goes when it says, and welcome to Let's Take a Seat, y'all. We're talking about insecure versus territorial. The question we're giving out right now says, how should someone react when they see their partner feeling insecure? Number one is reinsurance. You got to get reinsurance. Like that is so important that you can speak on that, man. Giving your partner reinsurance, especially if they're going through something, they need reinsurance. So if you get in an argument or whatnot, man, and you just don't feel like you're sleeping under the rug, because women be like, okay, cool. But like a lot of times, us men, we do things just to sweep it under the rug and think it's okay without fixing the issue. It's like putting a Band-Aid on the cut. You know what I mean? So like, I just think they need reinsurance when it come to that, But yeah, it's so important. We gotta make the person feel safe and love and reassurance, that I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
So before to conclude, I was talking about the words of affirmation. I've heard a lot of women say emotional abuse, which often can be as a result of verbal abuse and other form of abuses. They say emotional abuse to them is worse than physical abuse. I've heard a lot of women say that, and that can really affect a woman's confidence, and as insecurities would arise from that. So I think that word of affirmation, how you speak to a woman and what you say to a woman, is very, 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 very very, very important. What can make people, it could also break them. It could also trigger them. So, when they're feeling insecure, it's very important to speak life into them, to speak words of encouragement that will give them confidence in who they are and, what they stand for. Yeah, that's the goal.
Thank you, man. That's a good answer, man. I appreciate you. Welcome, y'all. Thank you for joining. Let's Take a Seat with Big Country. We got Top Batch Class OG. And I'm Big Country, your host. And we're talking about insecure versus territorial. Okay. If you guys have any questions, like a serious question y'all want to talk about, now make sure you let us know. But if you throw 1K in here, y'all, we will stop. If you have a question, we'll stop and you put out your question. Me and Classic OG will answer that if it's something that you guys want that's interesting talking about, you want to that pertain in this particular topic. Okay. So we're gonna dive into number 6, y'all. Remind you, whoever the number one gift is of the show by 8:15, I think, we will name next week's topic. Now, how does jealousy connect to feeling insecure or being territorial for you?
Oh, very, very, very related. Being insecure, like I said, I've been talking about borderline jealousy. When someone is overly insecure or overly territorial, it's very much borderline. It's given jealousy. And how is the connection for me is, like you said, if a woman is going out and you're like, oh, you can't wear makeup. I mean, there's a difference between talking about, a certain type of outfit that you feel like, oh, this is too revealing or whatever. I think that's still okay to talk about. But when you're talking about, oh, you can't wear makeup, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, it's like you're thinking, oh, if this person goes out like this and another man sees them, then they might try to. That is borderline jealousy. Jealousy is, of course, when you're like, especially when it comes to relationship, like it's like, okay, if she talks like this, if she does this, it might make another man interested, or if, it might attract another. So it involves another person, another man or woman being interested in the person. So you're scared that they might look too good. You're scared that they might dress too good. That is a problem. That is so because of that, you're territorial. Oh no, you cannot dress like this. Oh no, you cannot go out like this. Oh no, you cannot do this. So because you want them to be at the level that you think that they should be, so that they don't attract other men or other women, because you're scared that they might look too good and another guy might take them from you. If you're that type of man, especially a man, if you're thinking that a woman might look too good or they might dress too good, that they would attract another man and you feel like they might take them from you, that is highest level of insecurity, and that will lead to jealousy. And once that happens, yeah, for a man, that is not acceptable. It's not acceptable to treat a woman like that just because you're thinking, oh, I'm scared if they dress too well, then another man. Yeah, that's not acceptable. You have to be confident. You have to be confident, and you have to trust your partner that they will be able to handle themselves.
I think jealousy to me is an evil trait, man. I ain't gonna lie. I just think you can overdo it. I think at some point, like you get jealous for certain things, man. But when jealousy causes body harm or cause mentally abuse with words, I just think that I think that is something that and men, we're very good at that. I'm not gonna lie, man. Men are very good. Not all men, but men are very belittling people. You know what I'm saying? Like men are always knocking other men down and hit them where they hurt at. You get some women like that, but men are no more prone to it, man. Like I y'all see me, I stream, right? So like the men on here I don't hear from too many from women, and you may have some of those women like that, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that I agree with you. Like, if you meet, y'all beautiful ladies in here, the man tell you what you can and can't wear, that's the first issue. Like, you should already know what to wear. Look, I'm gonna tell you, if woman, I don't care what she wear, she should already know, but I just want to be involved in it. Like, baby, you like the black or the white one? Or, you think I should wear my earrings or no? Like, I'm involved in your outfit, right? But at the same time, I ain't got to worry about the disapproval, because you already know, you know what I mean? You're a representation of your man and yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that, I shouldn't feel jealous about something that I have that, like you said, it's insecurity for the man. You know what I mean? So, like, I just think that it becomes a problem when you say you're not going out like that, and she chose you. You know what I mean? She chose you, or he chose you, and you telling the person where you can. And then it's an incident that I had a woman got her hands put on a man because she went out looking a certain way, and it wasn't even derogatory. So like it was just regular clothes, but he got too jealous, you know what I'm saying? And decided to put his hands on her, you know what I mean? And then fortunately she stayed, but it gets dangerous sometimes, y'all. Yeah.
Again, I was gonna add, being jealous. I feel like everybody has jealousy in them. Reasonable degree. Even God said, "I'm a jealous God." We are children of God. We have a trait. We have we have the trait of God in us. Being jealous is not a bad thing. I think if you're not jealous at all, that's a problem. Like no matter what your partner does, it's okay. That's a big problem. Everybody has a degree of jealousy in them, and that's okay. Now, some people, their jealousy is 10/10. It could really be toxic. It could really be abusive. Some, they're 9/10, 8/10, 7/10. I feel like as a partner, if your jealousy is 5 and below, you are good. Like a jealousy that you can control, a jealousy that even when you see a certain, because when I started getting into relationships at a tender age, I was ridiculously jealous. Like if I'm talking to someone and I see them talking to another person, I would feel that. But then, and I'll be like, huh, if you if I approach this person this way, I'm sure they'll be shook. They'll be like, boy, I'm only talking to that person. So I'm like, okay. So I get to like 10 over 10, then I now talk myself down to like 5 or 4 over 10 to not be like, then when I approach the situation, I could just be like, hey, I see you talking to someone. Who is that person? Other than, oh, you're talking to another guy, you're cheating on me, blah, 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 blah. So there's a degree to which, you get jealous, and your level of jealousy will determine your temperament and how you handle the situation. And if you blow it out of proportion, when the woman was only talking to her friend or, maybe high school, whatever, and they meant no harm, it could totally destroy the relationship. It's giving insecurity, and you don't have confidence that that person can actually, have a friend without, ulterior motives. So yeah, the level of jealousy is very important.
So I'm gonna change this up, Rich. So it says, let me get back here. I want to read this real quick for y'all, real quick. People you can't be in a relationship with and friends with. I use both of these, but you can't be in a relationship with a person or friends that wants your life, want to be exactly like you. Okay, I'm gonna just use that narrative. You can't be friends or in a relationship with a person that is a terrible person. When you know you with a man and you know this, as it goes back to, what I'm saying, having that trait, man, and like you're a terrible person, and and you can't be around that type of stuff when you get scared. But you can't be friends with a person that is jealous of you, or a jealous person with a jealous trait. Like you can't, like you said, over when Classico said when it's over, you over the door and you ain't afraid to show it either. Who you was talking to? Nobody. No, I need to see, like, or why are you looking at that guy? I seen his in my own eyes, man. I'm like, man, like, you can't even pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm about to call the food joint. I'm dialing 756. You know what I mean? When you get it like that, it's bad, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there are people out there like that, though. I mean, I've seen. I don't know if you got
relationships like that a lot.
Yeah, like I listen. I can't be on the phone because he'll see how many seconds. He want to know how many seconds. I'm gonna tell you how bad it is. He had one friend of mine. He had to see the time log, how long y'all was on the phone. 3-5 minutes, or who's on the, why you on the phone 3-5 minutes or 10 minutes? You know what I mean? Like, she was venting. You know what I mean? And when it get that bad, run. Okay, just run. All right, let's dive into the next question, y'all. Brookie, can you put that up for me, please? Thank you for being here. Let's take a seat with Big Country. We got Top Badge, Classic OG, and myself. We talking about insecure versus territorial. How y'all look at it, how y'all vision what difference between those two is, and if you guys know somebody that's dealing with that, it's just, find a common ground, man, and talk about it, especially if you see it. If you see your friends dealing with that, man, let them know. You know what I'm saying? Let them know right away, man. It's not good. It's not healthy, right? Number 7, how comfortable are you talking about your insecurities with your partner? I start with that one. Honestly, as a man, I'm using for men, men don't get that comfortable. I can understand women. I don't know how y'all is, but for me, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It should be, but you got to peel back the layers for men versus peel back the layers for women is different. I don't mind talking about my insecurities, but a lot of times women use it as their advantage. You know what I mean? Like, they'll use it as their advantage, man. And it's hard for us to, majority, I ain't saying something, but majority, like, if you compare the weight scale, women and men, it would be women. You know what I mean? I'm not comparing those two, but if we do weight scale, it'd be women would use it more than men. I'm not saying men that don't use it because they done. Man, like men today, boy, they got they. I don't know about them, but no, that just mean it would be. You know, it's peel back the layers, man. You know what I mean? That goes back to reinsurance. You know what I mean? When a man feels safe or he feel comfortable, you know what I mean? He can talk about his feeling without being judged, or a person gonna use those things against you. You know what I mean? Like it gets hard. You know what I mean? So yeah, that is my answer. What about yours?
Yeah, so this is interesting because, I've heard a lot of, ever since I've been in the Western world, I've heard a lot of, men saying that, as a man, you cannot express yourself emotionally because people think you're weak. Women think you're weak. You can never cry as a man, stuff like that. And I get it. Men being raised in Africa is different. We were brought up to always, express ourselves, even emotionally. And I don't have any problem expressing myself emotionally to a woman. But the first time I do it, if she ever takes advantage of it, I will never open up to her again. Never, never, ever. If I open up to you and I tell you, my insecurities or something like that, and you ever mention it towards me, then I know that, okay, I know what time it is. I just like, but I'll still give it the chance based on my bringing, based on, I will still try it once and see how it goes.
Yeah, I like that answer though, man. And I don't think it's just, and then like I think it's everywhere, just men in general, man. Like I always say the worst thing you can do to a man is when you open up and you tell him how a person feel, and you tell about another person feel, and you agree with the other person versus validating your man's, it is an issue. You know what I mean? So it's a bad issue, man. So we're gonna dive into the next question, y'all. We almost done here. So I appreciate you guys for everything being here, man. But remember, question number 4, okay? Because I want to hear y'all ladies' opinion on that. We're gonna dive into the next one. It says, how do you think women view male insecurity versus being territorial?
To see it from a woman's perspective, that would be really, really, interesting. They would be the best. Yeah. They would be the best to actually answer that. I don't even want to guess. Yeah, I think the ladies would be in the best position to answer that.
I don't know how to think that as well, and that is a very good that's a very good play, Brooke, that you did in there, because I'm pretty sure women want to give their view on it, and I would love to hear from you. One thing I've learned, man can always learn from a woman.
Yeah.
We don't know everything. I don't know how, say if I don't know it, I don't know it. But I would say how I think women view males or insecurity. I think my opinion is just me, right? I think if a man feel insecure by something, like, to me, it hits harder than a woman. I really think so, man, because that's what men call suicide. That's where the suicidal come in at. I just think that when a man feels super insecure, it's hard to come back. It's hard on it. It's hard. And I'm not taking nothing away from y'all ladies. I promise you, I swear I'm not, because you guys go through so much. But like, once you, from a man insecurity, man, it's like, I was in somebody's stream today. He said, I hear voices in my head telling me I'm not, like, I don't know what lady said. Even the guy said, I met this girl and she doxed me and put all my information and told me how ugly I am, and you know what I mean? And and men tend to hold on to that stuff just a little longer, if that makes sense. Just, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why suicidal rate is so high for men. You know what I mean? Like, we don't open up, man, at all. And all that build up come up in the play. Y'all seen that thing on Instagram? That dude was doing his wire. That wire, have y'all seen that? You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all seen it with the man. He said, I've been doing this wire for so long. You know what I mean? She said, I thought you crying, whining about the football game, but he was going through his emotionals. Like, you feel like he can't talk. And the wire got round thin. He said he's been holding on to that wire for 15 years, 20 years. You know what I mean? And, you just feel like you can't talk. You feel insecure about it. But You know, it's hard on it. But that's my view. I want to hear y'all's at the end of the show. So number 4 and number 8, y'all. I want to hear number 4 and number 8 when you guys come in and towards the end of the show. We got 9 minutes left. Now a question, he said, what's the difference between a healthy okay, these wheels, okay, what's the difference between a healthy perspective and a toxic one?
Healthy protectiveness and a toxic one.
Possessiveness?
Yeah, protectiveness and possessiveness. If I
good question.
Yeah, the way the question is worded, right? Healthy protectiveness, toxic possessiveness. Yeah. I think we talked a lot about, you know, being possessive can lead to obsession. Obsession is very, 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 that's an excessive, that's extreme level of possession. That's when, you know, stalking comes in, and you're too clingy, you're over clingy, like you're overly clingy. You want to be the same place they are, you want to do the same things they do, you want to put a track on their phone, you want to go right after they go out.